folks, Rich Bassini from rjbassini.com coming to you today with a little reseller news info. The topic I want to talk about today is about sourcing and inventory. I hear a lot of times following other people on Facebook's groups, YouTube, and stuff like that, and they talk about merchandise, how much merchandise you keep buying. You got to keep buying every day. You got to keep listening every day. And I'm a small-time seller by far. I'm nothing big. I don't have a big seller base. But I've been doing this full-time now for, almost a year. And when I listen to these people talk about, what they're sourcing for, they go out every day, or where they go to yard sales, estate sales, and stuff like that. And if you're just starting out in this business, you really might want to, watch how you're spending your whatever residual income you have coming in. For me right now, it's based on eBay right now, plus money I had put aside, for a rainy day to nurture this business. But going along and learning more and more about this business, I tend to say that model doesn't work for everybody, and I'm not knocking people that do it. There are people out there that do it, and it works for them. But everything's based on an individual basis, as we know. What works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. So when I hear people talking about sourcing and having all this inventory, it makes me wonder. I only have like 200 plus items up there on eBay right now listed. I strictly sell on eBay. I also have Bonanza. I sell on Bonanza, but I'll be honest with you, Bonanza's been flat. I mean, for the past couple of months, I haven't got anything from them. I'm lucky I get one sale. I was even thinking of closing that account. I don't know why I keep it, but I figure, you know what? You never know. I mean, it might have a good customer base. There are people on there that are top-rated sellers on Bonanza, believe it or not. I'm one too, but it doesn't take much to become a top-rated seller on Bonanza. So the thing I try to bring a point is, get across is, I think people are under the impression, at least this is what I thought. When you see a person, you go to a person's website, and you see them got thousands and thousands and thousands of listings, and then you look, you look through their sold listings. Now, there's a company that sells on eBay. It's called E4 City. This guy has, I think, 4 million plus items he sold on there. I don't know if he deals electronics, he deals with everything. But this guy here, he's got 44 plus thousand listings on there. Okay, with over 4 million feedbacks. I mean, I'm just saying he's an exception to the rule. So people say you can't judge that. And when you got that many listings, I'm sure you have a big warehouse, and you have many people working for you, because that's not a one-man operation, as we all know. But he's an exception to the rule. I know probably other people are exceptions to the rule. But the thing is, when I hear people say, unless you have the room, the storage field, that's always been my problem. I don't have the storage facility to warehouse all this stuff. I'm not that big where I could, get a small warehouse and have a big monthly bill at the end of the month to, store all the stuff. And then you say, well, you could be inexpensive. You can go to one of those storage companies that have, you could rent out a little room there, whatever size, I guess, for garage, and use that for, I don't know what they charge, $150 a month. I guess it goes by the size, or maybe they don't have one set size and you have to rent two of them, in case you need double the amount. I don't know. But anyway, I'm in no situation to do that. If you're a person, a home-based business working at your house, and you got a garage or a basement or a 10 by 10 storage shed, whatever, that's big. Well, 10 by 10 is not too bad. If you're storing small things in there, you can't store furniture in there because it'll be a couple pieces in there and the thing's stuffed up. But if you're selling little things like books and little novelty, little tchotchkes, it might accommodate something like that. And even then, you can't store thousands and thousands of things on there. But the thing is, I came across this website. I'm going to play the clip for you in a second, and I just want you to listen to what the guy has to say about this one seller. I heard it on Pro Seller Network. I think this guy was interviewed, and they're talking about the Cassini search engine. I think that's what eBay uses. And this guy gets into, I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's about an hour. I'm not going to let you listen to a whole hour. You can listen to yourself. He talks about, about keyword spamming, and he goes into a bunch of things like keyword spamming, and so on and so forth. It's pretty interesting. The gentleman that's talking was a school teacher, and he had left his job to do this full time. And needless to say, you got to listen to the story. He became pretty much successful on his venture with eBay. I think he sells on Amazon too, if I'm not mistaken. But again, there were always exceptions to the rules. A good model, maybe the guy's got a good idea. Like what they say, those who fail to plan to fail. So maybe this guy laid out, he had a good solid plan he was going to work with, to stick to it, they call it, where the guy would, follow verbatim what he was going to do step by step. And it's true, you got to have a plan. Just like in order to have a dream come true, you got to have a dream. But with this situation here is, in regards to sourcing, I've been finding that I've been sourcing like little things on a pretty much weekly basis, maybe 3-4 times a week. And I tried it like that, like they said, you got to keep sourcing, you got to keep buying, keep sourcing. But the thing is, if you're buying more stuff and it's not selling, what good is it? What good is sourcing, having all that inventory and you're not making any sales? And the clip I'm going to let you hear right now, you could hear it for yourself, and then you could tell me what you think of it. You might say, well, that stands to reason. But this person he's referring to, I think he said has over 6,000 items, and he only sold so many of them. Let me listen to the clip here. I'm going to just screen share this here, and I'm going to mute the I'm going to just mute this down a little here, slow it down a little so you can listen to it. Okay, listen to what this guy has to say. Okay, here we go.
eBay wants to see people clicking on your listing. And then furthermore, if you're one of those people that just sell everything, and that's kind of where I fell when I first started this kind of experiment, is I had this huge store with no idea of Cassini, and I would keyword spam the daylights out of my listings because I wanted eyes on them, not understanding the eBay changed with this Cassini thing, that my sales were going down. I was selling less, and my turnover ratio was going down. And that's because I was basically keyword spamming and not really realizing that that was going on. And here's an example. So this guy here, and I blocked out his name, so I'm not
okay. He's
going to eBay shame anybody.
He's gonna talk about it now. So pay attention to what he's saying. Listen to how many listens the guy's got. Like I said, he blocked out the guy's name, and that's good. I don't want to. He's like me. I would do the same thing. I don't want to. Put anybody down, whatever, for what they do, how they run their business. But listen to what the guys say. Pay attention to. It's a minor detail, but like they say, the devil's in the detail, whatever, or the details, whatever. How that saying goes, you guys want to talk about the details on it, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Listen to what the guy's got to say, and you'll hear. Then you'll know what I'm referring to.
Store of 6,249 items. In the last 15 days, he sold only 9 items. So, John, do you think that's a good sell-through ratio?
Okay. Now, as you can see, what he was referring to, 6,000 plus, and only sold so many items out of it. So, when people sit there saying, "Oh, you got to source and you got to have a lot of stuff, you got to keep buying inventory, that seller had 6,000 plus, and he only sold so many of them. So, you got to think about like I said, your income per debt ratio. How much money did that person put into all that inventory? Even if you're buying at wholesale prices. If you're buying something, let's say, unless you're getting stuff like for nickels on the dollar, whatever. If you're buying something for $1 here, $2 there, but that adds up. Let's do the math. If you got 6,000 items times whatever, you know how much money that is in inventory? Do the math. First off, if it was $1 a piece, that's $6,000 in inventory. I'm just using it as an example. Most likely, if the person spent he's got 6,000 items, he might have spent, you know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm going with this here. If the person spent $5 on an item or he bought so many, that's a lot of inventory. It's a lot of money. So apparently the person has money to play with. But if you're only going to sell so many items, where's the justification in that? When I was going to college for retail business management, they had a thing called FIFO, first in, first out, and LIFO, last in, first out. My thing is, my strategy, what I would like to do right now for myself is to get rid of the inventory I have. And I even heard this on eBay Radio. Sometimes when they had the breaks commercials, they had the breaks there. They usually have top-rated sellers come on there and, talk about, they give advice what they would do, how they run their business. And this one guy, it's common sense. He says, why keep buying more stuff? Get rid of the stuff you have and then replenish it. And it's so true. I'm starting to find, I have a little storage area, not big, and I'm starting to see that by me sourcing, like every couple of days, whatever, by picking up new stuff, it's not moving fast. It's not moving fast enough. So far for this week, I think I only sold 3 or 4 things, and that's out of 225 items. Okay, a couple best offers I had to decline because they were so ridiculously lowball prices. I didn't even want to even respond. I counted with this guy 2 or 3 times, and I said I gave a final price, and the guy came back for $1 difference, and he didn't respond to it. So, it just goes to show you how petty people are. For $1 or $2, they will not buy. If they want something bad enough, they won't pay that $2, whatever. I don't care. I just decline it because I know there's other people watching the item, and I know it eventually is going to sell. I'll probably get the price I want. That's the funny thing too. I want to also say, really, in relation to best offers. Sometimes you could have best offers, and half of the times people will just buy it. Don't even make the best offer. I've had that a couple of times. I looked on there and I get a little audio prompt that I made a sale. And a lot of my listings, I think at the 225, I think there might be a couple that have just regular buy it now because I don't want to put the buy it now, best offers on them. For the simple reason is because they might lowball it so much that it's not even worth me putting on. I might as well just donate it. That's how cheap it was. One person, I had something for $39, and the person offered me $15 for the thing. I said I can't do it. This is the price I'm looking for. I counted back and forth, back and forth. They said forget it. I just on the third time or the second time or whatever replied, I just declined it. From $39 to $15. If I would to accept an offer like that, I'd be making nothing. The guy would come out ahead of the game. It'd be more in his favor than mine. There are buyers out there, folks. Just to let you know, buyers. Well, these buyers do e-commerce arbitrage. You heard retail arbitrage. Well, this is online arbitrage, where they buy stuff from you, a seller like me, and they resell it. There's an incident like that. I know a person that had a picture, and they sold it for a decent amount on eBay. The person bought it, and then later on, the seller was going on this thing to doing a search with the buyer, and they seen that same picture they purchased from that seller. That the buyer made the purchase from that seller, relisted it, and sold it for hundreds of dollars more. So unfortunately, that's what's going on, and I understand. I hear it all the time. People, even I think on EB Radio, they say the same thing, that there are sellers out there that do retail arbitrage, they do online arbitrage. They go online, eBay, they buy low and they try to sell high. Look, that's fine. Here's what I look at. If you buy something from me and you bought it from me for $10, and I was looking to make a profit. Let's say I bought it for $5, the item I want to sell for $10. I made a $5 profit. You want to buy it off me for $10. And you want to sell it for 30, 40, and you get it, kudos to you, more power to you. The thing I'm getting at is about sourcing and inventory. A lot of people tell you, in order to stay in this business, to stay ahead of the game, you gotta source, you gotta go out and go every day, and you gotta buy stuff, you gotta do so many listings every day. I have, like I said, I have 200 and something items in there. If I was getting rid of all those items in one day, this would be a phenomenal business, but it's not happening. And that's why when I think sometimes when I see people, going out and sourcing and going to thrift stores, estate sales, and picking stuff up, putting it up. And I guess they figured the ratio would work out. Whatever doesn't sell, but let's say you have old stuff on there that's been on there. Let's say for months. I had stuff for almost a year already, close to a year. But let's say you're a person that you had stuff for months in there, and you say, you know what? This stuff is stagnant here. Let me go to the thrift store or yard sale, pick this up, and let me try selling that. So now you put that on there, okay? Now you got it listed for 30 days of good till canceled. Not moving. 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by. Who's definitely making the money, right? eBay. That goes without saying. That definitely every month, whenever they charge you whatever, that's being paid. They're definitely getting their money. See, for eBay, it's a win-win situation. They're getting their money. There's no doubt about it. Okay, or else if you don't, well, first of all, you got an account set up with them. Okay, so it's definitely win. It's a win situation for them. But when you're doing a business like this, where you're depending on sales and they're not coming in, like I said, you could have $5,000 worth of inventory. You say, if I sell these things, I make $5,000 minus, of course, your shipping costs, what it costs you to pay for it, and so on and so forth. It sounds good. So, like I said, you see life through rose-tinted glasses, so to speak. It all looks great and everything. But the bottom line is, if you have all that inventory and you're not making no money, what good is it? It's just sitting there. Today's Friday. No sales as of now. Now, you might say, well, people are working. There are a lot of people out there that do work, and I understand that. And today is payday for a lot of people. Some people get paid bi-weekly. Some people get paid, maybe monthly. I don't know. But, that's another thing, too. Money is a factor, Not everybody's going to go out and spend money on things that are needless. Me, I buy out of necessity. I buy if I need something, okay? I don't just buy just to say I have it. I buy because it's a necessity. But there are a lot of people out there that, are impulse buyers. I had somebody buy an iPad cover the other day, made an offer. I accepted the offer. Then within 2 seconds later, like maybe a minute later, I see buyer cancel the order. I had it for $9.99. The buyer made an offer for $5. I said, what the heck? It's been hanging around for a couple of months. Let me get rid of it. I accepted the offer. $5. Free shipping, too. I mean, I would have made jack diddly off of that. I would have made nothing off of that there. And I figured, you know what? I committed to it. I didn't want to sell it with free shipping anyway because I knew what I got it for and what I paid for it. And for me, I would have been losing money. I would have been. It wasn't even worth buying a cup of coffee. That's how cheap it would have been. That's not even a profit. Okay. But anyway, that's what happens sometimes. But and then I had another one for the Sony. This is Sportsman CD player. Had that I think for $39. This is in addition to another one I had. And the person, and I had it for $39. The person offered me I think 21 or something like that. So I counted. I said, now mind you, it was $39 I had it for, but I want to get rid of stuff. And I said, $25, you got a deal. Guy comes back, count is 23, whatever. I think he offered 21 or whatever it was, 21 and change or something like that. So he counted his back. And I said, I make a counter offer. I said, give me 25, we got a deal. He counted his back, 23. Boop, I hit the decline. You're gonna haggle for $2? I mean, is $2 really gonna make a difference? To some people, it probably does. I'm not making fun of anybody, but for $2, I mean, come on. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, folks, for those who are starting out in this business, I don't hate eBay, and I'm not talking bad about the sellers that use that model like that. They keep sourcing every day and they keep listing, and that's great. I can't afford to do that, but that's me. But you can't go by me. You can't base it what I do. You got to look at how you're looking at it. And if you're a person that can buy on a daily basis and you have the storage facility, well then go for it then. That's what I say, go for it. But me, I can't do that. But all I'm trying to say is, you seen that little clip I played for you? The guy had 6,000 items on there and he only sold a few of them, whatever, a number, 9, whatever it was he said. And depending what he sold, I mean, maybe they could have been $100 each. So if he sold, let's say, what did the guy say, 9 pieces, he only sold 9 out of 6,000. Maybe if it was $100 piece, he made $900, whatever, depending, or he might have made peanuts, what I'm saying. But my thing with sourcing is, will I still go to thrift stores every now and then, even though I have it? I might go, because the thrift stores by me sometimes they have 50% off, and it's a guarantee it's guaranteed pretty much every Monday, I think, and Thursday they have 25% off. So you might come across a decent thing. Like I said, I might look, but half the times I'm just looking. I'm not always buying because, like I said again, to keep buying all the stuff, listing, photographs, doing videos, whatever, and nothing selling. Something, folks, even with the videos I put on my website, on my listings, some cases it helps. In some cases it doesn't do a blessed thing. I have one for a Keurig coffee maker. I have, I think, 9 people watching it. I set up the display to do a video, put the water in there, show you it works, go through the whole thing. Had it up there now. I don't know how many days up there. Quite a bit of views. I think I have 9 watches on it. No takers. I had an email yesterday from somebody saying, does the reservoir have any black residue on it? And I emailed the person back. I said, no, it doesn't. I said, it's clean. And they messaged back, how about the tray? Does it have a tray there for it? I said, this is what you see in the pictures, what you're getting. I said, this is what it is. And I thought, it was going to be a definite sale. I have that listed. What do I have that listed for? I think it's $39 or $49, something like that. And I thought, oh wow, maybe with the best offer, I thought maybe, well, there's not people watching it. Um, it may sell today, tomorrow, next month. Who knows? Maybe a year from now. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. And you keep buying this stuff over and over again, and it's not moving. That's why I can say I like to do the FIFO thing. Like in college when you go to school for retail business management, that's what they teach you first in, first out, FIFO, and you got last in, LIFO. You got FIFO and LIFO, last in, first out. I want to get the stuff that comes in, and I want to move it out. I want to get it out. I'm gonna be changing my inventory as time goes on. I'm not going to sell. There are certain things I'm not going to be selling anymore on eBay listings. There's certain things I'll get into that another time, but there are certain things I'm going to be doing away with. I'm not going to be selling certain things. I'm not going to keep stagnant merchandise around. I got to change that around because what I'm selling right now is not cutting it for me. Okay, and I know a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of competition out there. I had one person email me back on my YouTube channel. The reason why your stuff ain't selling because your items are priced too high and you don't offer free shipping. I can't offer free shipping on certain things. I mean, I know if you incorporate it in there, let's face the facts, there's no such thing as free shipping. I mean, somewhere along the line, it's being paid. You know that. We all know that. There's nothing that's for free when it comes to shipping. First off, I went to Walmart to buy boxes. Matter of fact, I got to get more boxes. I spent $47 in boxes, and that's at $1 a piece, $2 maybe here and there. But I bought bubble wrap. Not the bubble wrap. I bought the padded envelopes. I bought tape. So that's what it ran up to $47. Because I bought quite a few boxes. I bought different size boxes. So it rang up a nice little bill. But someone's going to pay for that box. Even like the boxes I always talk about, like in one of my videos, I talked about the 18 by 18 by 24. That box is about $1 and change. So you got to pay that. We know you got to pay that into your price. That's got to be paid in. And the shipping, they got to pay for the shipping. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're buying something and your ratio, your margin of profits is going to be so low if you get an item and you just say, well, I'll give you a free shipping. I mean, my thing is this: if you could sell, somebody said this to me once before in another blog, I think it was. If the person was nice, I could take constructive criticism. I have no problem with that. You want to tell me, stuff I sell is garbage, or you want to tell me, I don't like the things you sell, whatever. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. But if you want to give me constructive criticism and tell me what you think, my stuff is too expensive or whatever. Maybe I got items that just there's not a big market for it, and that's possible. I have no problem with that. But the person said to me, if you want to make it in this business, you got to list, what do you say, at least 100 items a day. 100 items a day. Now, I'm a one-man band. How am I going to list 100 items a day in one day? How am I going to list all that stuff? One-man band. And your price point should always be between $20 and $25. That's how you'll see, because I questioned about people making $5,000 or $10,000 a month. And I said, I see that to be impossible at times. And then that's when this person interacted and got back to me and told me what I should do in order to bring in $5,000 to $10,000 a month. It was a lot of work. I mean, to bring that kind of money in, I mean, you realize how much stuff you have to sell, let alone the inventory. That's the constraint sometimes that small time guys like me can't keep up with the bigger guys. That sell. Now, this guy that you heard the clip, what did he say now? He was a school teacher. If my memory serves me, he did, I think after, I don't know how long he did it, with a year or whatever. Well, he'd been doing it for he started in 2013, but he said that 1 year or whatever it was, he did 1.2 million. But at 1.2 million, after you factor in your cost of the item, your shipping and taxes, whatever, we all know that 1.2 million, whatever it is, sounds great. Oh, I make 1.2 million this year, but when you get through all the profiting and all your expenditures and expenses, it doesn't come out to be 1.2 million. You're not walking out with that. I think a lot of people are under the impression that, oh yeah, you make that kind of money, that's what you had. No, it doesn't. We know that. I mean, that's all basic. It's all basic common sense. But I would like to do something like that, but I don't have the clout to do that. I don't have that kind of resource. And then plus he also has, if you listen to the story, on that YouTube story. He has 3 virtual assistants, and I'm sure he's paying them hourly to do the stuff. I don't know if he has thousands of listens. I don't know if he ever set his. I don't know if he put his eBay store on there. I don't remember. I don't remember hearing that there. He might have. And I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing. It's about an hour and something. And the guy said something to the effect that he have over 800,000 sales or something like that, or list whatever feedbacks, whatever. So if he's got that many, this guy is a power seller plus. Okay, that's why. And sometimes, let me tell you something too, folks. Don't always think because eBay gives you that title, a top-rated seller. We all know it's in it for them too. It's a little marketing thing. You know what I'm saying? They give you that little ribbon saying top-rated seller plus whatever. It's to inspire you. It's to also let the potential buyers know he's top-rated seller. He made it. He followed certain perimeters or guidelines to maintain that status. And listen, I'm not knocking it. It's a nice little thing to have and stuff like that, to have that little ribbon there or whatever, showing you that there. That's good. I never thought I'd even make it to that, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been selling eBay on and off since 1999. I never really took it serious. I just getting rid of my kids' stuff at times, getting rid of stuff I used to have. To me, it was like not even a part-time hobby. It was just like something I do once in a while. That's why I don't have, if you look at my feedback, I don't have thousands. I don't have thousands and thousands and thousands like people say for $19.99 you should at least have 2, 3, 4,000. I don't have it because I never really took it serious. To me, it was just a selling platform. It's just like all it was to me was an online garage sale. That's all it was. You know, to me that's how I looked at it back then. I didn't really take it serious. You know. But listening again to the people that do this on a professional level, that have been doing it for years, not like a guy like me, but for years and years, that have years in it, 10, 15 years, 17 years, 20 years, they have a plan that works for them. And they're doing something, but they all had to start off just like us. You know, we go through trials and errors and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like it's like anything else. You got to crawl before you walk, so to speak. There's going to be a lot of mistakes that we're going to make. I made mistakes buying certain things I thought would sell. When I got my phone, you know, like I didn't know I don't have a paid service where I have paid internet, so I depend on Wi-Fi. So just to give you a little story, real quick, I would go to the thrift store, and I would pick up things. I would like be home first, researching online, right? And unless you bring paper with you, I had to do that one time. I had to write down certain things I thought would be good sellers because I kind of like try to model or mirror image another seller's selling technique, you know, what they're selling, what sells on their site. So I would do that there. I would go through eBay verbatim, writing stuff down, and you know, I'd bring a little piece of paper with me and to the thrift stores, keep in my pocket, because I didn't, you know, I don't have a paid service. I'm not going to spend $50 a month to use this. I have prepaid with this, and I'm not ashamed to tell it. I tell it like it is. I have a prepaid service with this. You know, I'm with T-Mobile. You pay $10 and you get like 34 minutes or 35 minutes, and you got 3 months to use it. And then if you don't use it, it carries over. Okay. So when I would go to the thrift store, people would see me with a phone. They say, "Oh, this guy's got a cell phone, whatever." You know, maybe he does it. And I didn't know they had Wi-Fi in there because I didn't see anything on the building that said Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. I didn't see it in there. So when I got talking to one of the other sellers in there, and we got talking, the guy goes, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "You know they have free Wi-Fi?" I said, "Are you serious? They have free Wi-Fi?" I said, "I never even knew. No one even said anything to me." And I found that they did. And, you know, one day, so I activated my Bluetooth and the wireless thing there. I did a search and came out with that thrift store's Wi-Fi address. So I clicked it on, and you know, you give a little acknowledgement. You're signing in as a guest. So I did that there, and needless to say, I was able to get into eBay, look things up, as all the other sellers do in that place. Sometimes it makes me sick because I say to myself, there's so much competition. That's just in that one store, and I go to 2 thrift stores owned by the same owner. There's one in Westbury. Well, if you lived on the island, there's one out in Levittown over there. And the same owners, you know, and it's a great store. I mean, I like it, stuff like that. So anyway, now I was looking stuff up, but before that, like I said, I would have to take the paper out and go through things. If I was looking for books, I'd say, "Oh, this book is what's sold on there." And then, you know something, sometimes You know, even though you follow or you mirror image somebody else, another seller, you say, well, this guy's selling it. It's got to be, he's got this much money for it. If I come across that same book, I'm going to sell. And you know what? He might have sold his book for 50, 60 bucks. You might sell yours for maybe 10. You say, damn, I don't understand. How come that guy sold this for, I got the same exact book, same publication year it came out, so the same exact thing. And his sold in mine. Well, first of all, he's got the edge on you. He already sold his before you got yours. So he's got the edge on you, right? But, well, like I said, I'm frugal that way, but the point I'm getting across is with the Wi-Fi, that's why when you're buying stuff, the point I was getting across is by not having, this is an important tool. And like I was watching another guy I follow on YouTube, and like he said, this is one of the most important things to have in this business, especially as a reseller. You definitely need one of these. You definitely need a phone. You know, even though, like I said, it's prepaid. You say, well, it doesn't matter. As long as I got the Wi-Fi and I can look it up when I'm at the thrift store, that's all that matters. I'm not going to pay $50 a month for something I don't hardly use. I don't really make calls on this phone. I have it for emergency purposes. That's why I have prepaid. Why am I going to pay $50 a month, $60 a month for something I don't hardly use? Like right now, I'm not at the thrift store. What do I need? What do I got to pay $50 for? I might not go to the thrift store for maybe a week or 2 weeks, whatever. Why do I need to pay $50 a month? I could use that $50 for something else. I could use it to pay a credit card bill or whatever, you know, maybe use it to buy food, go out for dinner. Who knows? I don't know. I got other uses for it. But like I said, that's why, you know, there was that old saying, a fool and his money will soon depart. You know, I do things very frugal, and I do things on like I said, based on necessity. I don't want to keep buying. And in regards to oversourcing inventory, as you can see, like that guy said, 6,000 items, he sold only 9 or whatever. It's not worth it. I mean, if I had that many things listed, and that's all the sales I made out of 6,000, I don't know what I would do. I mean, let alone the money that's tied up in that inventory. And again, even if you say, well, even if it was $1 a piece, you would say, well, you know, the guy's going to sell it for more. I'm just saying, but even that, I'm talking about the part about sourcing. Even if it's about 6,000 plus dollars a month, you know, whatever, what you sold, what you purchased, you know, do you have $6,000 to play around with? I don't. I can't go to a wholesaler or go to a thrift store and buy $6,000 worth. So I don't have that in my. I don't even have a credit card like that where I'm going to buy $6,000 worth of inventory. And again, where are you going to keep? Where are you going to keep these 6,000 items? Where are you going to keep them? Do you have a storage facility? Do you have a little mini warehouse? So where are you going to store all this stuff? So really think about that, folks. You know, when you hear people talking about you got to source every day, you got to buy this, you got to pick that up. You know, unless you're picking up books, comic books, that's possible. You know, if you have a 10 by 10 storage building, whatever, you could probably store a couple thousand, maybe 5,000, 6,000, depending on how big the books are. You know, you could probably do that. That's probably possible. But stuff like I'm selling, the Keurig coffee maker, keyboards, what else? Some other stuff. I'm running out of space, to be honest with you. So that's my take on the inventory and sourcing. So you might want to think twice about that, folks. I wouldn't get too heavy into it. I might get response from some people saying, well, you don't really know what you're talking about. Maybe you don't run the business right. You don't know how to run it, whatever. Look, I'm not too overly concerned about what other comments are going to hear from people. I'm just telling you what's going on with me, with this business, okay? Now, again, I'm sure I'm going to get some, I might get repercussion. I might get people saying something, well, maybe you just don't know how to run the business. Maybe if you feel that way, you shouldn't even be in this type of business. No, I love the business. I like the idea of reselling. I like retailing. To me, this is online retailing as far as I'm concerned. Well, it's not, buying stuff from a wholesaler, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to just give up and quit. I'm not a quitter. Failure is not an option. I mean, you got to keep digging your heels in. You got to stay with it. You can't just give up because you're having a bad week or a bad month. All I'm saying is that people should put money aside on those slow days. And I know the more weather comes around, people are traveling, they're going on vacation, from they might have had cabin fever for the whole winter months or whatever, and they want to now they well, weather's around, they're going out to the beach and stuff like that. And not everybody's going to sit there saying, oh, you know what, I'm gonna wake up this morning, I'm gonna go buy some stuff on eBay. I understand that, and let alone you have millions or thousands and thousands of people, like I always say in some of my videos, selling the same things, and sometimes they're undercutting you. And you could, unless you get things for like nickels on the dollar, whatever, however you're getting stuff like cheap like this. One guy says he buys CDs or games for like 10 cents. He gets them at yard sales or whatever. Yeah, if you're getting something like that for 10 cents and you sell for $5 or $6, $7, whatever, that's a different story. Unfortunately, I don't get items that cheap. I very rarely go to any yard sales. I went to maybe 2 so far. I don't really. People you might say, well, why don't you go to more? Again, it's the inventory situation, the inventory crisis. Where am I going to store all this stuff? If I'm buying more stuff and nothing's going out, all I'm doing is filling up my storage area, and nothing's moving. Okay, I thought the same thing at one point. I said, geez, I said, if I had thousands of items, that would probably put me in a different, make this whole picture a little better, brighten it up a little. But hearing that, I know that's only one person. I heard stories from other people too that said the same thing. I think on eBay Radio they did a segment like that where a guy was saying he's had so many thousands of items and he didn't make a lot of sales with it. So what do you do with all that stuff? I know in retail business management, when I was going to college for that, they have a thing, just to share this with you really quick. It's called inventory. For those who don't know, it's called inventory floor taxes. And that's why right before the holidays end, like when Christmas comes around and New Year, you'll notice big department stores are trying to get rid of all the inventory that they had from last year. And the reason why they call it inventory floor taxes, the stuff that's left over, the merchandise, for those who don't know, the big stores like department stores, Macy's, JCPenney's, whatever, they got to pay taxes on that inventory that was left over. That's why right before tax time, you will see big cuts, 50% or 60%. I even seen something that said even 80% off in some of the cases. They want to move that stuff out because it lowers their tax, their tax bill. But that's the thing. And when you have that much inventory, as I said, we're talking 2 different levels here. You're talking at big retail stores like Macy's and JCPenney's and all those big stores. That's a different story. But that's why they do it. And even though we're small business operators, small-time business operators, sometimes you got to think big. You got to think like that. You got to think like, hey, you got to think like a retailer would think. I mean, you're in the same line of business, the same work. It's the same thing. The only thing is you're online, and they have a brick and mortar store. So there's a lot of things to take in consideration. But again, folks, if you guys tell me if I'm wrong, leave it in a comment if you want to, make a comment on it. Telling me where I differ from you in your opinions, whatever. Like if you think it's wrong that I say, buying too much inventory is a bad thing. You tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, listen, if you guys have the storage to do it, facilities to house all that inventory, and you have the money to play around with, kudos to you. More power to you. I can't rent a small storage area for $150 a month. It's not in with my income stream right now. And that's why I said every time I keep going to thrift stores, even when the thrift stores have 50% off, you do that on a weekly basis. You could spend. I heard one guy was saying. I don't know if he was a power soul or whatever, but he said he spends like $1,000 a week. I could do that. No way I could do that. There's no way I could spend $1,000 a week buying merchandise. And then listing, there's no way I could do it. That's totally, like I said, these must be top-rated power sellers that are raking in tons of money every month, because I couldn't do that. Spend $1,000 a week on merchandise, I couldn't do that. I don't know which one or which guy it was or whatever. I know it was on probably one of the YouTube channels, and I forget who it was. I didn't even bother saving the person. I should have, just for curiosity. I couldn't do that there. I'm sure there's probably people out there that do that, probably spend $400 or $500 a week, maybe more, like that guy. If you could spend $500 a week in merchandise, $2,000 a month, you must be doing. You probably are one of those people doing $5,000 or $10,000 a month, because I'm sure as heck ain't doing that. But anyway, folks, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's today's topic on this part is inventory and sourcing. And let me know what you think. If you think, maybe I'm looking at things in a different way. Maybe you want to give it your opinion. You want to share your opinion with me. Whether you think I'm right or wrong. Maybe my ideas are not, they don't coincide with this business. If I get any comments saying, any rude comments saying, well, I shouldn't be in this business or this, that, and the other thing, I will censor them and, delete them because I'm not going to put stupid stuff on there. So if you're going to, you want to share, your comments with me and you want to, voice your opinion, I can take constructive criticism, but I don't want to hear any crazy things about, how I do things, how I run a business and stuff, or how I'm running my eBay business, so to speak. But let me know what you think. I'm just throwing it out there, and I just wanted to share that little tidbit of news with you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. The reason why I'm making this video is because I thought that was kind of interesting. You may say, well, all you did was just give a little audio clip on about a guy talking about sourcing, how much inventory he had. The only reason why that caught my attention is because I'm looking at my little inventory, which is peanuts compared to what that guy had, and nothing's happening. And we're not talking the items I'm selling is like $200-300. I mean, well, I'm not saying that. I have a couple of printers on there. I think I have one that's for $200 or whatever, but that's I don't think I have any more than that there. I mean, I have some stuff that is priced maybe to some people might be priced relatively high. I don't think so. I think it's fair price. But I already had somebody, like I said, somebody already did send me a message stating that I have my items are priced too high, and that I should try offering more free shipping. I can't do that just yet. I can't do that just yet. I can't offer free shipping. And there's certain things I would like to, but I can't. And then the other thing I wanted to hear, I just wanted to share one thing. I was listening to another person on YouTube. I'm not going to mention a name. They were saying, like, if you want to end up high in the search engine ranking with eBay, if you go to a 60-day listing, 60-day return policy. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be in pins and needles for the next 3 months, or I should say 2 months, whatever. For me, that's too much right now. I think 30 days is good enough for me. Next time they'll turn around, it'll be 90 days. Who knows? I'm just saying, but that's a little too much for me right now because I offer 30 days, and the thing that keeps me a little edgy is I never know at the end of the 30 days what's going to be coming back to me. And like I said, I had stuff like that just the week before the 30-day period was over. I did have a return on a printer. So, I don't want to be living on pins and needles like that, having a 60-day return policy. According to what this person said, that if you have a 60-day return policy, you end up higher in an eBay search engine. Whatever. Do what works for you guys. If you got the money to play around with and source, have a lot of inventory like that, source a lot of inventory, and you could afford those fees. Now, I guess if you have a store, you don't have to worry about paying a lot of fees like that. I don't know, 6,000 items. I mean, I don't have a store. So for me, every time I have to relist, it's 30 cents, 30 cents, 30 cents. I've been jacking up enough bills with eBay. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't fathom the idea of renting a storage unit for $150 a month or whatever it comes to, 30, 40, 50. I couldn't afford it right now. But there are people out there, listen, there are people out there that do this business full time and are making money. I mean, and some of them are living a very comfortable lifestyle. But again, I don't know how they're going. I don't know everything. I'm trying to study a lot of top-rated sellers, how they do their stuff. Look in the type of merchandise they're selling. Is it high-end price clothing? Is it the designer clothing they're selling that's getting them up? Or I'll give you for instance, I was in a thrift store last week, and I was in the store has 2 levels, the basement, whatever. That's where all the clothes are selling. And I seen these guys talking. These 2 guys, I never heard them talking. Not eavesdropping because they were standing like a little ways from me. And the guy's talking, and he's talking to his friend, and he said, "Oh yeah, I sold this for $100. I sold that for $200. I sold it for $300." Anyway, long story short, I'm getting ready to leave. I picked up my little trinkets. I'm getting ready to leave. I pay for my stuff. I go out and go into the parking lot. So I see that guy that was talking to probably a friend that he bumped into over there. And I said, geez, that car looks kind of familiar. So maybe let's see what kind of car that is. You know, what's what kind of car this guy drives. And you might say, well, I'm being curious, as I always am, curious by nature. And I drove by the guy's car. And what's he driving? A black Maserati. Now, I'm not saying it's the price of a Ferrari, but it's about $100 and something thousand car. Sure, the payments are like $700-800 a month. It's myself. Here's a guy that sells, I guess all he does is sell clothes. And he's driving around in a black Maserati. And they're kind of pricey cars. I mean, back in the day, I remember listening to the news when I had my full-time job. And I would sit down in my car at lunchtime listening to the news. And I remember Maserati was offering, or came out with an ad, lease a brand new I think at the time it was like 2015 or 2016 Maserati. Bring $9,500 down and $1,300 a month to lease it. It's like, wow. I mean, I just asked myself, $9,500 down. Yeah, it's a $9,500 do it leasing, do it signing, and I think it was $1,200 or $1,300 a month. It's like, holy jeez. I don't know if that guy's paying that kind of money. I guess if he is, I don't know the year. I can't tell the years of it. All I know is I know what I've seen. It was a black Maserati. And listen, if the guy is making money like that, because then I bumped into another seller at another location, and I mentioned that guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, he goes, that's the real deal with him." He goes, he said he's been selling for years though, and I don't know if he deals with clothes only, but and I don't know if he said he has like a little store set up, a little shop or whatever where he sells stuff like that. But regardless, he's a reseller. I mean, that's what he was there for. And in fact, he came out with clothes. He was buying clothes. I don't know what he was buying. I'm not going to follow the guy around or get talking to us. Hey, what are you doing? That's another thing too, folks. A lot of these successful people like that do stuff like that, not all of them want you to just share all the experience. Don't think for one moment that when you hear people talking, and I already heard this from straight from the horse's mouth. There was again another YouTube person. I don't follow all the YouTube people. I just happen to come across. When you click on YouTube, you see other things on the side of it about this and that and so on and so forth. And the one person was, I think, talking about it, and I don't know if he was being interviewed or it was one of those live chat things. And he said, "I'm not going to give all my secrets away." And I understand. You worked. I had a person in my Facebook group said the same thing. I don't believe in sharing my information. I worked hard to get where I am, and I'm not. And the person, and you know what? You might say, well, that's wrong. That person should have never said anything. That all came right out and said they should have kept that to themselves. That comment, whatever. But maybe somebody asked. I don't remember exactly what they said, but the person. All I remember is someone stating that they're on my Facebook group that they were not going to share their secrets, and that's fine. I respect you for that. You strive to get your business to where it is, and you know the competition's out there, and would it be nice? Well, yeah, it'd be nice to share, but this person didn't want to, and I didn't question it. I'm the group moderator and founder of the group. I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to ban her from the group, or I'm going to remove her from the group. Person wants it. That's their prerogative. Look, I share the things I know. Okay, what I could share with you guys. I don't know a lot, so people say, well, maybe this guy's holding out on things. No, I'm not holding on anybody. I tell it like it is. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to pull punches and make this thing look glorified. I'm a straight up front, honest seller. I tell it like it is. Okay, that's why I'm doing this video in regards to sourcing and inventory. I don't want to see people get into something like that there. And there may be people that say, well, I came into a lot of money, so for me, but you know what? Why waste it if you can't do anything with it? You know what I'm saying? Invest it wisely. So I don't tell it like it is. I don't tell it like this. I tell it like it is, and I don't make it sound glorifying, like, oh, you quit your day job and you're going to do this full time, and I'm making thousands of dollars a month. I'm not going to tell stories like that, because who am I hurt in the end? When those bills come running in at the end of the month, they come like clockwork. And I'm going to sit there and tell people stories that I'm making all this amount of money when I'm not. I'm being upfront and honest. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not going to sit there and tell you stories that ain't true. There's a saying, believe what you see and only half of what you hear. Okay? So, sometimes when people talk about all this here and they're showing you, oh, I got this, I got that. I don't believe, here's the only thing I won't share. I'm not going to share my personal finances with you, like as far as like, well, this is what I sold on eBay. This is how much I made for the month. This is what I bought it for. This is what I sold it for. I don't think that's necessary in my behalf. Like if I buy this phone, if I bought this phone here and I said, well, I paid for $25 for it, I sold it for $100. I mean, all right, so you say, okay, well, he just told me he bought this for 25 and sold for 100. Okay, so you say, well, you're giving a person a heads up that, you pick a phone up, whatever. I don't need to get into that. That's not something that needs to be dealt with. I don't think I need to tell the whole world in YouTube land that what I'm buying and selling it for. I noticed that there are a lot of sellers out there that do that. There's people that do daily vlogs. They go out and tell you, well, I went to the store, I bought this today, I bought that today. So you're going in, you'll listen to these people, what they bought, what they're going to sell it for, what they hope to sell it for. And then you hear the sad parts of it. Well, my sales were slow this week, or I didn't sell. Does anybody have good sales? Is anybody selling stuff? How are your sales? So, I mean, I know the reseller community. It's like we're like one big conglomerate, we're like one big conglomerate family. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'll tell you up front, my sales for this week have been not too good. I'll be honest with you. What I sell, 2, 3 things with it, 3, 4 things. I don't remember. That's why I said it's so slow that I can't remember what I sold. That's how slow it is. But in the reseller community, I know people say, well, that's why we have these groups. That's why we have YouTube channels. That's why myself, I'm on it to share these things with people, to get feedback and to hear and learn from other people. If I could teach you guys something, or if I come across something I could share with you guys, if it's beneficial to you, that's great. That's a great thing to do. I don't do live shows. There are a lot of these sellers that do live shows, live YouTube things. I'd rather do it like this. It's, I guess you would say, like a pre-recorded thing, which it is. It is pre-recorded because it's not live. I don't really have things. I don't really want to. It's not that I don't want to interact with people, but what am I going to talk to you about? The same thing I'm telling you now. If I had a live show, I'm going to tell you. There are people out there that do these live shows that have big following stuff. I mean, thousands of followers. I only have 60 people that subscribe to my channel, but it's probably because the topics I'm talking about is probably nothing of great importance to these people. They probably see a guy like this guy here. He's boring. Maybe they like people like that sit there talking about, oh, look at what I bought here, look what I bought here, look what I bought this, I got this at the thrift store. That's probably why I don't have a big following. I don't really care. To me, it doesn't make a difference. Would I love to have more subscribers? Absolutely. I'd love to have thousands of subscribers. I'd like to be like the guy that has, over 1 million subscribers, whatever. That guy there that does all the comedy, whatever, plays games, whatever. I'd like to be like a guy like that. But I don't, and that'll probably never happen in my lifetime. I mean, and I don't really care. It doesn't make a difference to me. I do these here because I want to share information, what I know, and again, I don't sugarcoat anything. I tell it like it is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, I do this full time. I'm making a great living out of it. The only thing that keeps people like me going is that if I put money aside for a rainy day, so if something happens, God forbid. You have a little cushion to back you up. But the thing is, when a time comes, there may be a time where this business might, if I can't get it to where I got to be, where I can live a substantial lifestyle. It's hard to say, but I may have to go back to a 9 to 5. I really don't want to go that route because I really like doing this here. I like the idea of the flexibility of going to different thrift stores and buying stuff and selling it. I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting when you pick something up that's out of the ordinary. You put it up on eBay, and people are buying it from you, and you're making a sale, and you feel good about yourself. I think it's a great thing. And let me tell you, and just in closing, I don't want the sellers out there or buyers to take it the wrong way. Please don't take it the wrong way. I'm just one seller amongst millions of people out there that are just expressing myself. So I hope people could have respect for me in that case and say, well, that's his opinion. Leave the guy alone. This is what he wants to do. This is what he thinks about it. Let him be. But I tell, like I said, I tell it like it is. I'm not going to lie to people. But my thing again is, like I said, when it comes to sourcing and inventory, just be aware of that. Don't I know a lot of these guys out there, they mean well by what they're telling you, and I'm sure it works for these people, but look at the circumstances. Look at their situation. They may have a warehouse facility. They may have tons of money to play with. You know, they could probably, they can, if they have help, they probably can list 100 or 200 a day if there's depending if it's a two-man operation, one man. Maybe the guy gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning, doesn't go to sleep till the next day. Who knows? I don't know. It's a lot of work though. Photos, description, then you got to do your listing. It's a lot. In some cases, for me, doing videos, I do video demonstrations. That's a lot. That's a lot of work because then you got you're making a video, and then when you upload it, it takes so long to upload it, and then you got to wait. But in the meantime, I'm working in the background doing some other stuff. But it's a lot of work. I mean, let's cut to the chase here. This isn't something you just say, I'm going to do it in 10 minutes. It'll be finished in 10 minutes. I'll be done in 10 minutes. The only thing I always thought, not to contradict myself, but if you did want to do something like this, it makes you feel good to get you out of the house or your home-based business. Let's say you did on a daily basis. Let's just say I haven't, but let's just say you wanted to go that route. Let's say it's a Monday morning. Now Mondays at my place here, the thrift store, they have 25% off. So let's just say, well, you know what? Maybe 2 or 3 times a week, I'll go to the thrift store on the days they have 25% off. 50%. A lot of people, I usually make it my business to go because you never know. But this is what I'm saying though. This is why you end up with a lot of merchandise. Even though you say, wow, you're getting half off. It sounds great. I'm getting half off. But the thing is, that half off item, if you put it on eBay and it's not selling. Now, I'm gonna share this with you guys, and this is upfront and true. There were times I had purchased merchandise from the thrift store. And I'm sharing this with you, and it's the truth. It's the gospel truth. I had put stuff on eBay. And let me see if I can remember the things I put on there. A PSP game. I don't know if it was Grand Theft. I think it was PSP Grand Theft Auto, the small little cartridges. I put that up on eBay, and probably within an hour or 2 hours, it sold. Okay, so now I know there's people that probably out there have sniper software where they probably have it set up like that, where I think it works that way. I don't have it. I never used it. But I think that they have it set up like that, where if merchandise comes up like that, an item comes up like that, it'll go right to that website. I don't know. I believe that's how it works, or I could be wrong, where if the software, I think, then the other thing is the flip side of that. I think with the sniper software, it works is they put you in a watch window, whatever, and what they do with the sniping program, and then just before it ends, I think that's how it works. I'm sorry, folks. I think that's how it ends. It works. And then right before it ends, you'll get a response, probably on your iPhone, whatever your phone or your computer, saying the item's going to end in 1 minute, whatever. And then you go in there and you make the bid. You outbid the person, whatever. I think that's how that works. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how that sniping software works. But anyway, I've sold that PSP game. And I'm sharing this with you guys. It's a little one, the little PSP, not the PS2, PSP. And the Grand Theft Auto, I don't know which one it was, Miami. I don't forget. I know they had a couple of them. I sold quite a few of them. That sold within a couple hours. Okay, so I'll share that with you. Another one I had that sold in a couple hours within 1 day, which is great. And you don't get them all the time, though. You don't get them all the time. It was a black rotary phone. And I talked to my brother about that. And he said, I have one now. It's a rotary phone. It's a tan one, like a beige. And he said the ones that sell are the turquoise blue type ones pretty much sell it in the black. I couldn't get the black phone. I didn't have one. But it's a rotary. It's an old Bell on it. That's a Bell, I don't know, Northwestern Bell, whatever. But that's well, now the one I have right now, the beige one's been there for a while. I think I dropped the price from $39, I think, to $29, something like that. I have watches, but no takers. It works. The thing is, though, you can get a dial tone, but you can't dial out because I think now they did away with the landlines or certain things because the phone's too old. I think that phone came out in the 60s. So with that, you could, that would sell. I had one of them, a black phone like that, a rotary phone, and that too sold in a couple hours. Different days, though. Different days. I don't want you to think they all sold the same thing. Oh wow, this guy sold this, that. No, this was different times. But that's what I'm saying. If you come across things like that out of the ordinary, and you could put them up on eBay and you could sell stuff, that's good. That's a good catch. But those don't always happen. Like I said, I picked that beige phone up, the rotary. I said, oh, it's a rotary phone, definitely. I had it on there for quite some time now, and I'm not even getting. I don't think there's maybe one watcher on watching it, and I have a funny feeling it's going to end up being relisted again because I guess people don't want a beige one; they want the black, and I think the turquoise are the ones that seem to go. But again, if you are going to, source where you want to build up your inventory, if you're a small time guy like me, it's your call. You want to do something like that, maybe go twice a week and pick up maybe 1 or 2 items. It's not that bad, hopefully, if you do something like that. But if you're going to keep buying hundreds of items a week, again, if you got the storage, more power to you. I don't have it, so for me, I have to get what I have to get rid of the inventory I have, and then get new stuff, and that's the problem. I can't get rid of it quick enough, and it's just lingering and lingering and lingering. I can't get rid of the beans. I mean, I've lowered the prices so much. I mean, it's getting to a point. Sometimes I say to myself, what am I doing here? What's my purpose with this business? I mean, I can't make money off it at times. But that's what I'm trying to say, folks. For those starting out, think about the whole thing. Think about the logistics of it. Go through the whole thing. See your income per debt ratio, of course. See if you got enough money coming in. You have money to set aside for your bills, your mortgage, your food expenses, and so on and so forth. Because I think people sometimes have this grand delusion. And I get a kick out because sometimes I listen to eBay radio and when I hear a person saying, I'm good at my job, I'm doing this full time. I wouldn't quit my day job for something like this. I'm not saying this to be mean. There are people that do it, and I'm not saying it in a mean way. Okay? Well, remember, everybody's got different circumstances, so don't take it the wrong way. Don't sit and say, well, who's this guy think he is? He's telling people that. No, I'm just looking at it from my perspective. How I got involved in this business is I got laid off from a company. My job got outsourced. So 1,000 jobs went overseas. So I figured, you know what? Why not give it a shot? Let me try it. Let's do it. Instead of doing a part-time here and there, let's try it full-time. And that's where I am today with this here. So just think about what you're doing, folks. I mean, just think about it. I mean, like I said, put everything on a pen and paper and figure things out. Can you live on this type of salary? Do you have enough money to back you up on the slow days? If you're not making enough money, my thing is on a low side, and this is low. If you can't make $100 a day in this here, you're in pretty bad shape. I'll be honest with you. It's pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty tough, and that's why, like I said, I'm hanging in there as long as I can. But if you have a certain amount of resources left over for a rainy day and you keep picking at it, it's like a bird picking on a piece of bread. You keep picking on that loaf of bread. Eventually, that loaf of bread's going to get low. It's going to start getting depleted. And, some people may be compelled to go back to the 9-to-5 job because they just can't sustain that lifestyle. You don't have enough money to keep you going. So, I'm just trying to share this stuff with you guys. I'm not knocking a business. Like I said in one of my other videos, if I do have to go back to a 9-to-5, I will never give up on eBay. I probably won't give up on doing my videos. I probably won't be able to do them as freely as I should, because when you come home from a 9-to-5 job, you come home and you deal with your family. You're going to, be more dedicated to your work. Depending on what kind of job you have, maybe you might have to devote your time to working at home. Depends what kind of field you're in. If you're in IT, my thing, I'd probably go back to IT. So most likely, I'll probably be working at home, outside of on a job site, whatever. If I go back to the workforce. So it all has a lot. It has a lot to do. But the most important thing, and like I said, is I'm not going to give up on it 100%. But if I can't make a living out of it, I have to do something to put food on the table, pay my bills, take care of the overhead. So, like I said, I don't know. And here's the other thing. I just want to leave one last thing with you guys. I keep saying it before. When you hear of people, keep this in mind, folks. When you hear people saying, I do this full time, here's the question you got to answer yourself, the $99 question. Okay? I'm not saying this to be mean. Do they have another source of income coming in? Now, there's a person, I'm not going to mention the person's name. The person goes out and goes thrifting and sells and stuff like that, but you find out the person's husband works, has a full-time job, or vice versa. The husband might be out of a job, the wife is working to support the family, The husband, therefore, can do it full-time. So that's another thing too. That's why when you hear people saying, I do this full-time, look at the circumstances in there. Now that guy that I played that little tidbit of news for you, I think his wife works. I think. I can't swear. I guess I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing. I listened to that part. That's why I wanted to let you guys hear that part. He does it full time. Okay, he does it full time. I don't know if his wife works, but if you have another income coming in, and that income sustains your lifestyle, puts the food on the table, pays the mortgage, keeps the lights on, so on and so forth, by all means, you can go into this business full time. You can say, yeah, I could do this full time because you got an income coming in. You still got a regular revenue stream coming in every month. You got money to pay your bills. So keep that in mind. Don't let people tell you, oh, I do this full time. I do this full time. I quit my job. I do this full time. What's the story behind it, though? I mean, do you have somebody working for you? I mean, not working for you. If you're a wife, is your husband working? If you're a husband, is your wife working? There's got to be another income coming, because you can't just tell me, in some cases, I'm not saying 100%, but I'm not going to sit here and think that every eBay seller, reseller on eBay, is selling and bringing the sole amount of money in the household. I'm not saying it's impossible. Okay, but people say, well, you're saying that because that's not working for you. I'm being upfront and honest. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pull punches. I'm just trying to say what's behind it. There's got to be something behind it. There's got to be another source of income coming in. Okay? And when I hear people sitting there saying, I'm going to quit my job and do this full time, those people that are quitting their job and doing this full time must have another income coming in. Because let me tell you something. Unless you got a pension, now people that are on pensions could do this. If you got a pension, you worked for the Postal Service or whatever. So if you're a cop or a fireman, you got your 20-year service and you're retiring with a nice pension. I know a cop that makes $90-something thousand a year with a pension. Okay, you got a nice pension like that coming in. You could do this full time and then some. You know what I'm saying? You got that guaranteed income coming in. If you're going to depend on eBay as a sole income, you better do something. You better be doing something right, and you better for yourself make a lot of sales, okay? And if you can't make $100 a day, at least on a low end, that's low. I mean, back in the day, people would make $200-$300. It depends on what kind of job you have. If you can't even make $100, and here's the other thing too. You always hear sellers telling you, I bought this, I sold this for that much money, I got it for this much, I sold it for that much money. What I would like, what resellers should do is, including myself, but I don't get into that. I don't really want to get into that. It's kind of personal, but I mean, suppose you're suddenly said, I only make $10 for today. Ooh, I mean, I would like to, these people that are quote unquote big time sellers, whatever. Why don't you say, instead of, what you bought it for or what you sold for, how much did you make for the day? How much did you make for the day? That's what you should tell people if you're going to do videos and stuff like that, and talk about sourcing and doing this and that. How much money did you make for the day? Did you make $100 for the day? Did you make $50? Did you make $20? Did you make $0 for the day? They always tell you what they bought and what they sold, but you never hear the person say, "Well, I made this for the day." I never heard of it. I never heard people saying, "Well, for today I made." Well, sometimes people put in this, "Oh, I made $1,000 or $10,000 in 1 month." And you'll hear stories like that there, but I'm talking about the ones that come up and that always tell you what they sell, what they bought it for, what they sell. Oh, I bought this for this, and this is how much it sold for. But how much did you make for the day, though? How much? That's what I'm saying. How much did you make for the day? I can't tell you because I don't make much for the day. I don't. Right now, there's nothing here. I have no sales. So right now, as of now, 0. That's how much I made for the day. That's why when people sit there saying, I quit my 9-to-5 job, if you have a 9 to 5 job and you're making a decent income, $200 a day, whatever it is, 200, 300, whatever kind of profession you're in, I'll be honest with you. If I was making that kind of money a day, I got laid off, from the company, but if I was making that kind of money, I think twice about giving that job up to do this. Okay, when you're going doing this type of business for a week or weeks on end, there's somebody in the group that hasn't sold for a couple of weeks. If you're basing this on income, you don't have that money coming in. I don't know what you're telling your creditors. Hopefully you don't have a lot of credit, because what are you going to tell your creditors? Listen, honey, I can't pay you right now because I'm waiting for some stuff. I have like $3,000-$4,000 in inventory on eBay. I'm waiting for it to sell. You know, could you cut me a little slack? Can I pay you the following month? Can you waive the late fees? They'll laugh at you and they'll say that's not my problem. That's your problem. We want our payment. We want our bill. You know, we want our money. So, if again, I tell it like it is, folks. I'm not gonna whitewash it and make it sound like it's all sugar-coated, and make it sound like it's all fame and glory and everything else. You really got to think about it. You really think about this here. I mean, I'm doing it now because I'm trying to give. I want to give it a shot. I at least want to give it a try. Even that guy that was on that short clip I showed you, he was telling a story. If you listen to the story, he was telling the story that he tried it at one point. And he said, what he's seen, things weren't working for him. And he goes, I figured, let me give eBay another shot. So he gave it another shot. And for him, it worked out. I guess he put his nose to the grind wheel, whatever, and he did what he had to do. And he got it to where it's supposed to, where it's making a decent limit. Again, I don't know if his wife works. I don't remember that day enough because I thought he said they both leave at the same time. I don't know. I'm assuming she might work. I don't know. But, that's the thing. And I feel bad because I said, again, a lot of people tell you everything, like, there are people doing this, that, and the other thing. I don't expect people to tell you your salary, what they're making. Like when people say, I make $100,000, $300,000 a year, whatever. Listen, if you make that kind of money, God bless you. I wish you all the best. I mean, I wish I could be in a situation like that. I wish I could come on this YouTube channel and say, hey, I'm making this much money a year, But I'm not. So just think about it, folks. But anyway, I don't want to keep talking about it. I'm already in this. Look, already 1 hour, 11 minutes. Look at this. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Just think about it first. Like I said, and if you are new to the YouTube channel or new to eBay, assess your situation. I mean, it's all based on common sense. People might say, "Is this guy kidding?" Everybody's going to think that anyway. But some people take the plunge. They'll do it ahead of time. They might not. Some people go into it head first. They don't think about it, what they're getting involved with. And the thing is, when you get people that are, thinking, I had it with my job, I want to get out, I don't like my employer, I don't like the people I work with, I want to quit and do this here. It's a scary situation out there. And when you give your job up to do this, I wish, and the ones that are starting out in eBay, I wish you all the best. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you guys all the best. I hope wish you success. I hope you have a good year in selling. I hope it starts out for you good. But just remember what I'm saying, folks. You can take it for what it's worth. I'm not speaking words of wisdom. I'm just telling you it like it is. And that's basically all I can tell you. I mean, that's the whole idea with this here about the reselling. Is that's what my topic is: sourcing and inventory. I feel bad that a person would go through all that trouble having 6,000 listings, and all I think the guy said he sold 9, whatever. That's kind of sad, because you would think with that many listings, the person would have hundreds upon what you would think. I'm just saying, this is my mindset. People say, well, you can't think like that. But no, you would think with 6,000 listings, the person would have a couple hundred sales. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 6,000, I think all he said he had nine listings. That's doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. It doesn't work for me. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. If there's anything that you want to share with me, again, if you want to share anything with me or other people, and tell it like it is. I have no problem with that. But thanks again for stopping, checking out my YouTube channel here. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you like what I do with these videos, please give me a thumbs up. And thanks again. And for all those who are doing reselling on eBay or Amazon or whatever platform you're using, I wish us all the best. In regards to one last little thing there, it's not a segue, not the answer, but if you're thinking about doing stuff on Bonanza, it's I haven't made sales from them in quite some time, a couple of months. I haven't made, it has to be a couple of months, maybe 3 months, maybe a couple of months, whatever. I haven't made any sales for them. I'm not saying it's a bad platform to go on, but you might want to check twice about that. It doesn't. I don't think it costs anything to join it. I mean, you have to sign up for it. I think I mentioned it once before my other eBays, other videos, I should say, that you can import your eBay listings onto Bonanza. So it's kind of like a double win, kind of like if there are followers, which I'm sure there are on Bonanza, you might come across. I made a few sales. Well, what did I sell? About a total of 5 or 6. You know, you might say, well, that's really nothing to write home about. No, it ain't. But it's 5 or 6 things that I sold, I got rid of. Again, and my inventory, like I said, with this video is to get rid of the stuff I have rather than replenish it. Because, again, the stuff I have has just been stagnating. It's been sitting around here for, I have a couple things that have been around for over a year already. I'm not signing anything. I know one guy I listened to, he has stuff he sells on Amazon, and he said he had stuff laying around for over a year, 2 years. That's crazy. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. You take care. Have a good day now. Wish you all the best. Bye-bye.